This one's this one's rich. So January 6th, the FBI had confidential human sources, and I am a strong believer that those who went to the Capitol and didn't commit actual any crime and just walked in and walked out should have never gotten arrested. There's, I don't know how, I think it was over 100 people. I don't know. I think it's 300. If you can go and really check really quick how many people got arrested for January 6th, but it's a good chunk of people that got arrested. They've been in prison already for 4 years or 3.5 years. I think we need to free them. I think they got the point, you know. I don't think they should be in there for longer than that. Because at the end of the day, they were fighting for something they believed, which was they didn't believe that Biden was supposed to be president. They believed that the elections at that time were extremely fraudulent, because we're not saying our elections are perfect, but in that time, if you look at there's a graph from Obama, Trump, and Obama, Trump, Biden, Jesus. And you see that when it was Biden, the amount of votes was crazy. And it's just, people say, oh, it's because of mail-in ballots, but I don't know. I don't buy it. Because the guy didn't actually campaign. So where was the need for so many people to come out for this guy? And on top of that, I also don't understand why people even voted for him, because you can tell from just looking at him that he was a mentally ill elderly who was not fit for office, and yet people voted for him anyway in spite for Trump not to win, which to me makes me question your judgment, because you shouldn't vote out of emotion, nor should you vote for somebody who you can clearly tell is in mental decline, and you're rather somebody that's mentally declining versus somebody who isn't, just because you don't like that person's tweets or character or their past or whatever. But this guy is mentally declining, which means he's not going to be actually running the government. Nobody thought about that when they voted for Biden, apparently. I did, and I didn't vote, period, at that time. And I don't regret it at all. I mean, well, in a way I do, because I should have participated and voted for Trump. But whatever, I wasn't in the mind to do it, so I didn't do it. I was also in Colorado. But I knew Biden was not going to be the right fit. I thought Trump was actually going to win, and he didn't. And now look, January 6th, let's see what happened with this new update.
By the way, before you put the video, 562 people were sentenced to periods of incarceration because of January 6th.
562 people?
Yeah.
Holy cow. All right, so I thought it was a little less. That was like 300 something. 562 people were
Actually went to prison.
Yeah. We need to.
1,186 were charged with entering or remaining in a restricted federal building.
Yeah, so we need to get those people out. They served their time. I know that's a controversial take, but that's my take. You guys can tell me what you think.
Fox News alert, the Justice Department just released the bombshell report that we've been waiting for. What actually happened on January 6th? The FBI had 26 confidential human sources there that day. 26. A confidential human source is a guy the FBI pays to spy for them. Of the 26 confidential human sources who were in D.C. on Jan 6th, 4 entered the Capitol during the riot. An additional 13 entered the restricted area around the Capitol. So more than a dozen FBI spies participated in the so-called insurrection. A bunch of them broke into the Capitol. Their own inspector general says this is what happened. But that's not what they told you when they testified under oath.
Those who were there in an undercover capacity on January 6th, how many were there?
Again, I'm not sure that I can give you that number as I sit here. I'm not sure there were undercover agents on scene.
I thought I heard you say you didn't know whether there were FBI agents or informants or human sources in the Capitol or in the vicinity on January 6th. Did I misunderstand you? I thought that's what you said.
Well, I referred very specifically to undercover agents.
Yeah. And so are you acknowledging then there were undercover agents?
As I sit here right now, I do not believe there were undercover agents on scene.
Director was hiding something, so Congress asked the question a different way. Listen.
Did you have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters inside the Capitol on January the 6th
I like that guy.
prior to the doors being open?
Again, I had to be very careful.
It
in
should
what
be
I
a
can
no. Can you not tell the American people no? We did not have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters positioned inside the Capitol on
Gentleman's
January
time
the
has
6th.
expired.
You should not read anything into my decision
Ms.
not to share information
Director
about
Ray,
confidential human
gentleman's
sources.
time.
Ray's right. The FBI didn't have undercover agents at January 6th. They had confidential human sources.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to respond back to you, Jose. Yeah, I did see the perspective of Tim Pool. Yeah, he had a very similar perspective than I have. They served their time and they need to get out. And the fact that the Democrats or just progressives, the leftists, who swear that, January 6th was a breach in the transition of power. It was, a fight against, our very Constitution, is to me kind of way fascist, which Tim Pool also brought that up, because you're saying that the federal government should have this overwhelming power to incarcerate people for going against, the power, the person who won, or, the power that be. And at the end of the day, we do have a right to critique. We do have a right to protest. We have a right to say, no, I don't agree with this. I don't think we should be, I don't think this person should win. Why did this person win? Where did all these votes come from? Like, we have a right to ask questions. And even though they technically were trespassing, which is against the law, they were also allowed in. So, and then because they were allowed in, essentially, the whole trespassing thing is kind of null and void, because if you're trespassing, they shouldn't have even opened the doors for you, because you are trespassing. So the fact that they opened the doors for them kind of makes it seem like, okay, well, then I'm not really trespassing because you're allowing me in.